Hello Zenith women and welcome to the channel. Sometimes saying no is the most powerful thing you can do. Unknown. In a world where many are too afraid to disappoint or too eager to please, the Sigma female stands apart. She's not in the game to seek approval or settle for less. And when she walks away from a man, it isn't because she's playing hard to get. It's because she's mastered the art of choosing herself over mediocrity. Studies show that people who set strong boundaries often experience greater satisfaction in their lives, something a Sigma female knows all too well. She's not about to waste time on a man who can't keep up with her mind, let alone her independence. And if that leaves a few egos bruised along the way, well, she's probably already halfway out the door, smirking at the drama she's left behind, ready to dive into the real reasons why she says no. Let's uncover what makes her walk away and never look back. Number 1. She's not here to fix his emotional baggage. A Sigma female has no patience for men who treat her like a personal therapist. She's not here to be anyone's emotional dumping ground or to untangle a mess of unresolved baggage. When she meets a man who expects her to fix his wounds, sort out his insecurities, or be his constant source of comfort, she's quick to recognize the emotional drain it'll become. She knows that everyone has their issues, but she's also wise enough to know that some people just don't want to do the hard work themselves. They'd rather outsource it. It's not that she lacks empathy. She's just not willing to be drained dry by someone who's not willing to put in the effort. Men who come to her with their unhealed pasts, hoping she'll make them feel whole again, get a quick reality check. She can see right through the charming vulnerability that turns into constant neediness. If he's more focused on being comforted than doing the work to heal himself, she's already mentally packing her bags. She's got enough self-respect to know she deserves a partner, not a project. It's not that she doesn't care about his story, but she cares more about her own well-being. She's not signing up for an unpaid internship as someone's emotional support system, and she's definitely not about to become his personal crisis hotline. She values relationships that are built on mutual strength and respect, not ones where she's left constantly playing the role of the fixer. So when she sees that he's looking for a safety net rather than a partner, she walks away without a second glance. She knows that life is already complicated enough without volunteering for a job she never applied for. And besides, she didn't sign up to be anyone's free therapist. Number 2, she sees through the fake alphas. Sigma females have a radar for fake alphas, the ones who rely on loud bravado and forced confidence to mask deeper insecurities. Men who strut around acting like they own every room they walk into might fool some, but not her. She quickly picks up on the difference between genuine confidence and the type that's all bark and no bite. For her, a real alpha isn't about dominating others. It's about being secure enough in yourself that you don't have to shout it from the rooftops. When a man is constantly trying to assert his dominance or prove his superiority, she knows there's usually a lack of real self-assurance behind it. She's not impressed by displays of arrogance or attempts to control every conversation. She's not here to be someone's audience or to prop up their fragile sense of self-worth. If a guy expects her to be wowed by his show of masculinity, he'll quickly find that she's not clapping along. A Sigma female wants a man who's comfortable in his own skin, one who doesn't feel the need to boast or put on a show just to feel important. She respects authenticity, even if that means a little vulnerability. But the moment she senses that his confidence is just a mask for insecurity, she checks out. She has zero interest in playing along with someone who's more focused on maintaining an image than on being real. She knows her own worth. And she's not going to waste time with a man who has to remind everyone of his. Instead of sticking around to feed into his ego, she'll simply walk away, leaving him to continue his act without an audience. And the best part, she'll do it so quietly that he'll barely notice she's gone, until he realizes he's performing solo. Number 3, she's uninterested in fixer-uppers. Sigma females have an uncanny ability to recognize potential, but that doesn't mean they're in the business of fixing people. When a man approaches her with a potential label, believing she'll swoop in like a superhero to help him realize his dreams, she quickly sets the record straight. She's not interested in being anyone's life coach or emotional support system. She's looking for a partner who's already thriving in his own right. If he's stuck in a cycle of mediocrity, constantly complaining about his life while lacking the motivation to change, she won't waste her energy trying to pull him up. To her, investing in someone who isn't willing to put in the effort feels like pouring water into a sieve. There's just no point. She has spent her life cultivating her own passions, interests, and skills, and she expects the same from anyone she chooses to spend her time with. It's not that she lacks empathy. She just recognizes the difference between supporting someone and doing the heavy lifting for them. If he's waiting for her to light a fire under him, she'll walk away, leaving him to figure out his own life. She understands that true growth comes from within, and if he's not willing to take the initiative to better himself, she'll let him be. A Sigma female wants a partner who's already on a journey of self-discovery and achievement. She wants someone who challenges her, inspires her, and matches her energy. If he's merely looking for someone to help him find his footing, she'll pass. For her, relationships are about mutual growth and support, not about dragging someone along while they flounder in their own shortcomings. She's ready for someone who can stand tall beside her, not someone she has to prop up. Number 4. Too much clinginess kills the vibe. Neediness is one of the fastest ways to drive a Sigma female away. For a woman who thrives on independence and self-reliance, a clingy partner feels like a weight dragging her down. She's not interested in being someone's emotional crutch or constantly having to reassure a man about his worth. She spent too much time building her own sense of self to take on the responsibility of filling the gaps in someone else's life. When a man leans on her too heavily, seeking constant validation or reassurance, it quickly becomes draining. She's looking for a partnership, not a dependency. It's not that she's cold or incapable of empathy, but she believes that each person should be able to stand on their own before they can truly share their life with someone else. If he's always looking to her to make him feel better about himself or to ease his insecurities, it starts to feel less like a relationship and more like babysitting, and she's not about to take on that role. The Sigma female wants a man who has his own passions, his own drive, and his own sense of fulfillment. She's attracted to those who, like her, value their space and autonomy. When he's too clingy, it sends a signal that he hasn't found that balance yet. She's not interested in being the center of someone's world. She wants someone with their own life who can complement hers, not cling to it. So, when she senses that a man is looking to her to fill every empty space in his life, she makes a quick exit. She doesn't stick around hoping he'll figure it out. She knows what she wants, and she's not going to compromise her peace of mind to be someone's constant emotional support system. It's not personal. It's just that she's got a life to live, and she's not looking to carry someone else's baggage along the way. Number 5. He's a walking contradiction. For a Sigma female, consistency isn't just a nice to have. It's a fundamental requirement in any relationship. When she encounters a man who's a walking contradiction, who says one thing but does another, she immediately spots the mismatch. She's not fooled by charming words or grand promises. She understands that actions speak volumes. If his behavior doesn't align with what he claims to believe or feel, she views him as a ticking time bomb of disappointment. She values authenticity and integrity, so when a man constantly flips between what he professes and what he actually does, it raises all sorts of alarm bells. If he's telling her he's committed while simultaneously flirting with other women or making plans that don't include her, she sees right through the facade. It's not just a red flag, it's a flashing neon sign that screams, "Run away." She knows that someone who can't walk the talk is more likely to bring chaos and confusion than stability to her life. She's not interested in engaging in a relationship where she's constantly questioning his motives or waiting for him to follow through on what he's promised. A Sigma female thrives in environments where trust is built on solid foundations, not on shifting sands of half-truths and contradictions. The moment she senses that he's more about lip service than real commitment, she makes her exit. Moving on is her way of preserving her emotional well-being. She recognizes that drama is a distraction she doesn't need, and she has too much self-respect to waste time trying to decipher someone's mixed signals. Instead, she'll save herself the heartache and find someone who embodies the consistency she craves. someone whose words and actions are in perfect harmony. For her, a real partnership is about mutual trust, and if he can't provide that, she'll happily close the door on the drama and walk into a brighter, more stable future. Number 6. She refused to compete for his attention. A Sigma female refuses to compete for a man's attention because she values herself too much to join that race. If he's the type who constantly needs validation from other women, or if he can't seem to focus on the person in front of him, she's not about to waste her energy trying to outshine the competition. She's not going to play into the dynamics of jealousy or try to convince him that she's worth more than the distractions he chases. She knows that real connection doesn't come from being pitted against others. It comes from mutual respect and genuine interest. If a man's attention is easily swayed by whoever crosses his path, she'll see it as a clear sign that he's not ready for the kind of relationship she wants. She's not going to stick around hoping he'll finally notice her value amidst all the noise. Instead, she'll make a graceful exit, leaving him to realize, perhaps too late, that she was never someone to take for granted. It's not about playing hard to get. It's about knowing that she deserves a relationship where she doesn't have to compete for the spotlight. She's not interested in being a part of some popularity contest or vying for a place in a man's priorities. She'd rather be with someone who sees her as a priority from the start, without needing to be convinced of her worth. If she's left feeling like just another option, she'll make the choice for him by walking away. And when she does, she leaves behind a silence that says more than any confrontation ever could. It's a statement that says she'd rather be alone than be with someone who can't see her value without a spotlight on it. Number 7. Intellectually shallow. Sigma females have a thirst for intellectual stimulation that typical small talk just can't satisfy. Engaging in deep conversations is like a breath of fresh air for her, while idle chatter feels more like a chore. She craves discussions that challenge her mind, spark her curiosity, and ignite her passion for learning. When a man resorts to superficial topics, talking about the weather, celebrity gossip, or the latest trends, she can't help but feel a wave of boredom wash over her. For her, those are the conversations equivalent of fast food, empty calories that leave her feeling unsatisfied. If he can't keep up with her intellectually, she'll quickly disengage. She's not here to play the guessing game of who has the most interesting life updates, or to answer generic questions that lack substance. Her conversations are an opportunity for connection, insight, and growth. When a man presents her with banal questions, he might as well be speaking a different language. It's not that she's pretentious. She simply recognizes her own worth and has no interest in wasting her time on discussions that don't enrich her life. A Sigma female sees conversation as a dance of minds, where both partners contribute equally to create something beautiful. She wants to exchange ideas, challenge viewpoints, and explore new concepts together. If he can't engage in that kind of dialogue, she'll likely excuse herself from the dance floor. She refuses to compromise her intellectual needs just to keep someone entertained. Ultimately, if a man can't rise to her level and engage her in meaningful discussions, he's not going to stick around for long. She'll walk away, leaving him with his surface-level questions and a newfound appreciation for the depth she brings to the table. For her, it's all about connection and growth, and she knows that a real partner is someone who can meet her at that level. If he can't, he's simply not worth her time. Number 8. Men can't handle her silence. A Sigma female's silence is not a void, it's a boundary. Many men see her quiet demeanor and misinterpret it as a sign of disinterest, or worse, a challenge they need to overcome. They try to fill the quiet with constant chatter, questions, and attempts to keep things lively, not realizing that their inability to handle silence is what turns her off. To a Sigma female, silence is golden. It's where she recharges, observes, and processes the world around her. She doesn't fill every gap with words because she knows that sometimes the loudest things are the ones left unsaid. When a man comes into her life and can't sit comfortably with that quiet, he reveals a lot more than he thinks. His discomfort shows her he's either insecure, overly dependent on external validation, or too uncomfortable in his own skin. A man who needs to be constantly reassured by conversation isn't someone who can handle the depth of her introspection. Instead of finding solace in the space between words, he finds it unnerving. And that's when she knows it's time to walk away. She's not about to teach him how to be comfortable with the quiet moments or how to sit with his own thoughts. She doesn't want to deal with his nervous energy filling the room when she's perfectly content in the stillness. This inability to appreciate silence isn't just a minor flaw to her. It's a sign that they're on completely different wavelengths. And for her, it's not worth wasting time trying to bridge that gap. So she leaves, opting for her own company over the endless noise of someone who just can't keep up. To her, it's a no-brainer. She'll take silence with peace over small talk with chaos any day. Number 9. Superficial charms. Leave her unimpressed. A Sigma female doesn't care for superficial charms, and she's got no time for men who think that impressing her is as simple as a few compliments or a flashy lifestyle. She sees right through the grand gestures and smooth lines, knowing that anyone can throw money around or memorize some sweet words. To her, all those attempts to dazzle are like empty calories. They may look good on the surface, but they have no real substance. If he thinks that he can win her over with expensive dinners, shiny gifts, or constant praise, he's completely missed the mark. She's more interested in the character of a man than in the car he drives or the places he can take her. The Sigma female craves depth, authenticity, and a connection that goes beyond what can be seen on social media. She's well aware that many men think a few grand gestures will buy them her time and attention, but she's not impressed by the quick fix. It's not that she doesn't appreciate a nice dinner or a thoughtful compliment. She just sees them for what they are, gestures, not guarantees of genuine interest. When she realizes that a man is more invested in keeping up appearances than actually getting to know her, she's out of there before he even knows what hit him. It's not that she's difficult to impress. She just knows that real connection doesn't come with a price tag. If he's more focused on how she fits into his image than who she is as a person, she's already decided it's time to walk. In her world, quality over quantity isn't just a cliché, it's a lifestyle. And she'd rather walk away alone than settle for someone who doesn't have the depth to see beyond the surface. Number 10. He treats her like a trophy. When a man treats a Sigma female like a trophy, she sees the red flags waving furiously. She's not a status symbol or a trophy to flaunt. She's a complex individual with her own dreams, ideas, and a fierce spirit. If he's more focused on how her presence enhances his image, like she's some shiny new accessory to showcase at parties, she'll quickly lose interest. She's far too aware of her value to be reduced to a mere badge of honor in someone else's life. Sigma females exude an authenticity that often draws attention, and while they appreciate admiration, they want it for who they are, not just for the impression they leave. The moment she senses that a man is interested in her primarily as an ornament to display rather than as a partner to connect with, she doesn't hesitate to cut ties. She knows that relationships based on superficiality lack depth and substance, and she refuses to be part of that game. She's not there to boost his ego or elevate his social standing. If he's treating her as a trophy, she can't help but feel like a prop in his life story rather than a co-star. A Sigma female values genuine connection, where both individuals bring their full selves to the table, not just their pretty faces. She wants someone who appreciates her for her intellect, humor, and unique perspective, not just for the image she projects. So when she feels that a man is trying to put her on a pedestal for his own gain, she'll step back, leaving him bewildered and wondering what went wrong. She's confident in her worth, and she'll never allow anyone to reduce her to a mere status symbol. For her, true partnership is about mutual respect, not one-upmanship, and she'll always choose authenticity over being a pretty trophy on a shelf. In a world where authenticity is often sacrificed for appearances, Sigma females stand as unapologetic guardians of their own value. They navigate relationships with a fierce independence, recognizing that true connection transcends superficial expectations and empty promises. Each reason a Sigma female walks away from a man reflects not just her preferences, but her unwavering commitment to self-respect and authenticity. These women are not looking for someone to complete them, they are whole on their own. They understand that a genuine relationship is built on mutual respect, shared values, and the willingness to grow together. Whether it's avoiding the drama of contradictions, dismissing the allure of potential, or refusing to compete for attention, their choices are a testament to their strength and wisdom. So the next time a Sigma female says no and walks away, know that it's not just a rejection, it's a powerful declaration of self-worth. She's making space for the right partner, someone who matches her energy, appreciates her depth, and is ready to engage in a meaningful connection. In a landscape often cluttered with distractions, she remains focused on what truly matters, ensuring that when she chooses to invest her time and energy, it's in someone worthy of her extraordinary spirit. Ultimately, Sigma females embody the idea that knowing one's worth is the most attractive quality of all. They remind us that walking away can be one of the bravest and most empowering decisions we can make, and that in choosing ourselves, we pave the way for the authentic connections we deserve. If you enjoyed this video and found it interesting, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. By subscribing, you'll stay updated on all our future content that dives deep into fascinating topics like this one. Join our community and be part of the conversation. Your insights and perspectives matter. Thanks for watching and bye.